Happy hump day, people. Today is Wednesday, January the 14th, 4:30 p.m. is the time. 2 degrees Celsius would be the temperature, and I'm here once again in North York, once again at Yonge and Shepherd, or just a little bit north of there. I see Divyesh Patel's here, Drew Costin, Medano, Jillian, Valley Girl, Mark, Ashley Stewart, Susie from TO, Kenza Toner, Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights, and everyone else. Thank you so much for joining in. Mark Foley, Mike Powell. I had a bit of an easy day today. I just kind of stayed in and took it easy. I didn't post a video this morning, and I was going to go live early this afternoon, as normally when I don't post a video, that means there'll be a stream in the late morning and early afternoon, but I saw someone else was attempting a live stream this afternoon and thought that would be an excuse to put this off. So I apologize for not getting any content up earlier. But hey, better late than never. Welcome to the stream. Just a friendly reminder to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that fun stuff. Today we're going to be, I think, going south. So there's going to be long stretches of Yonge Street where there's not a whole lot to see. It's going to be a bit interesting. I haven't done this route in a while, so I just kind of wanted to do something a little bit easy. So we're going to be going a few kilometers south. I'll be going past York Mill Station, then up to Yonge-Lawrence, past Lawrence Station, then into Yonge and Eglinton, where I will probably end the stream and pick up some food because I'm going to be very, very hungry by then. And that'll be my dinner. I'll take that home and eat it. And then we should have a video up tomorrow. Richard says, just won $20 off your wife. She was sure Johnny was going on holiday today. Hey, our little plan worked. Our little conspiracy to get you 20 bucks. Let me just make sure the video and audio is coming in. Hey, our little plan. It seems to be doing just that. Now, I absolutely murdered my legs today. I was doing some new exercises. Wednesday is leg day for me. I am awfully sore. So if I walk a little more gingerly, that would be why. But this is south down Yonge. There's the Five Guys. We are supposed to get some snow in a few hours. It's just going to be light, and it might even just kind of be light rain. But in the middle of the night, it's supposed to start really coming down, and that'll carry on into tomorrow. So we should have a pretty snow-covered city tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. If it's still snowing in the morning, I might do a live stream tomorrow. I don't know. One thing at a time. We're just going to be going south. First destination, Highway 401, if you can call that a destination. Greetings, Kristen Fuller, Transit Mobile Scooter. RIP to that person's front wheel. It's 18 in Calgary or minus 18 or 18 Fahrenheit. It is 2 here in North York. There's some towers. A number of people told me should have been in my ugliest buildings in the city video, but that was focused mainly on downtown and the downtown area. There's Shepherd Street East. I went down there about a month ago in a video. And Shepherd West. Tomorrow will be a great day to get out and make a snowman right in the middle of your street. I don't think that's ever a smart idea in the middle of the street, but perhaps we'll get hit with a decent snowfall as I look north at Yonge Street. So on the left up here is where Whole Foods used to be. There's still a giant Rexall drugstore. And I wonder what they're going to be doing with that big retail spot. Kristen Fuller sure hopes there's no snowstorm. You're going out with the family tomorrow night. Hopefully the roads will be good. Although the city doesn't exactly have a great track record with that sort of thing lately. RIP Whole Foods. And this area just lost a Loblaws. I wonder if that Food Basics across the street had something to do with knocking that Whole Foods out of business. A much more affordable grocery option right across the street. It's supposed to be cold in the GTA tomorrow. But yesterday I went on a little adventure and recorded a couple of videos. If there's a good snowfall in the morning, I might go out and stream that instead, but if not, I'll be posting one of the 2 videos I made yesterday. It was certainly annoying getting back home. Hey, Demi7 is here. We'll warm up again, another freezing day coming up this week. Hey, we have a CN Tower sighting. Let's see if I can zoom in. There it is. Using the super zoom. And thanks again for tuning in. Unlike last live stream, I will not be entertaining any federal political questions via super chat. You can send me super chats and you can ask me whatever you want, but it's up to me if I want to entertain the question or not. There was someone who was trying to goat me into certain answers. I think they ended up just embarrassing themselves. It wasn't so cold earlier at Yonge and Eglinton. You were in my neck of the woods. Marie Palmer says, hi Johnny Strides and everyone, sorry I'll be watching only. You fractured a bone in your right arm. Seeing a surgeon tomorrow. It's very difficult to type. Sorry to hear about your injury, Marie Palmer, but your health comes first. Please take care of yourself. So wish you all the best in a speedy recovery and surgery, and thank you for letting everyone know. There was an Enterprise rent-a-car around here. Was this it? That's now Fogtown Flower? I think that's it. It's either here or it was in the block south of here. Yeah, I think this was it. I remember driving a car up through this alley. Boardwalk Brad, I was very aware of the G20 demos in Toronto. That was a long ass time ago. This is Avondale. Pho OK, authentic Vietnamese. Oh, look at that, Chillax Eatery and Mart. They've got a whole little room of like stuffies in the front. It's a cute storefront. okay is okay. So we're about to say goodbye to the busy streets of North York, at least pedestrian-wise, to much quieter parts of town south of the 401. Greetings, Mike Landry. Thanks for tuning in. I think it'll take about an hour and a half or so in total to get to Yonge and Eglinton. Money Mart, Pizza Nova. Hey, we got a super, the first one of the stream, Transit Mobile Scooter Darren. Thank you so much for a hot beverage from the roommate and yourself. Hot beverage, you just bought most of my dinner, possibly all of it. Thank you so much, Darren. I'm definitely gonna have a hot coffee or tea after this, probably a tea. I've already had 3 coffees today. Thank you, Darren. And thank you to your roommate. Little gym room. Oh, they got an indoor pool too. Oh, that ambulance just flipped its lights on. Miss Yogi Bear is here, one of the probably the OG mod of all the mods we have. Vivian Johnson's here. This area around Yonge and the 401 can always be a bit of a gong show. Whenever I cycle Yonge Street in either direction, this is always the part where you have to be most on guard. Vehicles will come flying through at a pretty high speed, merging on and off Highway 401. I think I could have stuck to the sidewalk over there and it would have been a much more direct route. But we're going to take the roundabout way I like to go when I walk this part. Greetings, Trojan Elk Explorer. Cyclists, please walk bicycles. Seems like a reasonable request. This is a sidewalk. Greetings, Brad Palmer. I'm going up the hill at York Mills, just past York Mills. Past a very wealthy enclave. Happy Wednesday, Johnny. Get yourself a donut. Aaliyah Martinez. Maybe I'll do just that. I went to Timmy's last night on my way home. I had Chipotle and I picked up an apple fritter, all 333 calories of it, and had that after my dinner. Maybe I'll do that again tonight. Thank you so much. Discography is here. There's the busiest freeway in North America, Highway 401. And I'll be passing the last office job I ever had. A place I quit during the pandemic. I was there about a year. After 5.5 years with a great company, I got lured in with some nice benefits and perks to change companies, and then the pandemic hit and all hell broke loose, and that job was not for me. So I bounced. And I haven't had a real job since. Memory of an office job, yeah. Mark D loves apple fritters. What is a real job anyway? I think what I do is a real job. I just meant it sort of colloquially. What people tend to think of as a job. Yeah, you got to be real careful through here. Most drivers do not like to adhere to the speed limit. They'll be merging onto Shepherd Avenue. I've crossed under Highway 401. Does it feel safer with the fence? I think the guardrail, yes. The fence really wouldn't do anything. It would stop debris if a car hit the guardrail, but if a truck or car went through the guardrail, that fence ain't doing shit. So I guess it makes it mildly safer. I always thought that church had a neat design. I think it's a Korean church, actually. As Kelly says, good day for me to enjoy a walk. Indeed. What is this thing? It's supposed to be warning me of something. So I'm semi-retired now. If by semi-retired you mean working 60, 70 hours a week, then sure. Yeah, I think old Dougie wants to dig a tunnel underneath the 401. The second single stupidest infrastructure plan ever proposed in the history of humankind. What's scary is what I would consider the worst and dumbest infrastructure proposal ever. They're actually going ahead with trying to build in Saudi Arabia. That would be the line. Traffic's not moving too slowly right now. And thanks to nearly all 400 or so of you for tuning in. There's our destination. Yonge and Eglinton looming off in the distance. Those are all those tall towers in the center of the shot. Some of us are just not made for the office. I don't know, I was made for the social elements. A lot of it is just banging your head against a wall. Trojan says that's a long walk. The sidewalk ends just south of here where I am, so we're gonna have to cross over to the other side. Press the button and we're going to hold up traffic so I can waddle my ass across the street. You bet my daily steps average is high. It is not what it used to be. It was solidly over 20,000 a day. Lately it's been around 15, 16. Wait for the light to change. Hi Johnny, do you miss aspects of the office such as results and meeting targets? Oh, how much do I love trying to hit targets that some people dreamt up in a meeting. No, I don't miss any of those aspects. I especially loved it when, in order to hit those targets, it wasn't humanly possible without cutting corners, which would get you busted on audits. So it's like, what the hell do you want me to do? Hit the target or do my job properly? That's mostly my time at TD in a nutshell. When I used to work there, that was my first job at a university. They would have like a big leaderboard. And you'd look at the quality of work of the people on top of that leaderboard, and it would be not very good. So the next major intersection will be York Mills and Yonge Street, or I guess more correctly, York Mills to the east, Wilson Avenue to the west. Get your tickets today. Back to the Future, July 23rd to August 31st. Welcome to North York. Isn't this kind of the border of North York? One side of Yonge Street is, one side isn't. That GO bus is making its way up to the Scarborough terminal. Don Valley Golf Course is right across the street. There will be a Swiss Chalet. Hey, you got to turn your lights on. You know, I do crypto. You've been looking into it yourself. I've got some crypto ETFs in my TFSA. They were pulling up my profile the past few days. And a little bit outside of that. Abby says hello to all here today. Greetings, Abby. So once I get up Hogs Hill and get to the top, it'll be mostly downhill from there, save for a brief section of Yonge Street just south of Lawrence where we're going uphill. And it's going to be mostly retail and busier sidewalks. But the next, I want to say 15 minutes or so are going to kind of be like this. Lawrence Avenue is the border of North York. I thought it was Yonge Street. I thought it... Here, I can settle this. Just got to go into Google Maps, pop in North York, and it'll draw an outline. Yeah, you can see Yonge Street is the dividing line. So it looks like everything to the east is North York, and to the west, where I am, is Toronto. I'll give that person a free pass for cycling on the sidewalk. Not really a big deal. It's kind of hair-raising riding on Yonge Street on this stretch. And there is the last office complex I called home. In the center of the shot over there. I remember hopping on my bicycle and riding up here on my single speed to bring back my laptop during the pandemic. There were just 2 people in the office. And I was like, where do I put this? And they're like, I don't know. So I went to the HR office and left it there, and then sent them an email saying, hey, you told me to bring in a laptop. There was nobody here to receive it, so I just left it in the HR office. I snapped a picture of it and sent it to them as if That was proof. There's a Swiss chalet. They obviously rely on an after-work crowd. So the title North York to Midtown does not mean walking all the way down to Eglinton, but just to the border. No, we're walking to Midtown. I mean, as soon as I step foot into Midtown, that's Midtown, but I live at Yonge and Eglinton. I got no plans to take the transit down there. Hope I got a package. I was there for a year. What I should do is contact them to see if I can get my vested pension out of there. And transfer that over to a lira in my control. I was only there a year. It wasn't very long, but that would be a few $1,000s at least. There's a tunnel just over there that connects this office complex to York Mill Station. I remember, like, right after I started doing all these live streams, I did a tunnel run where I went through there trying to not lose connection. York Mill Station is just up here on the left. There's a Go Bus terminal there. Greetings, Dirk G. Attention, bus. Thanks for the notice, I guess. It's the Go Bus terminal. There's a TTC bus terminal in there as well. That's pretty big. And they finally started construction on that. That was a vacant lot for a very long time. Amongst Toronto's most prestigious neighborhoods, not quite. I think they're referring to Hogs Hollow, a very wealthy enclave across the street from there. That will literally be a condo, not near much in the way of amenities. Someone blocking traffic. There's a food court in there, a Good Life Fitness. Of course, access to the subway. I've walked exactly one subway stop. This is one of the longer distances between stops on this side of Line 1. It might even be the longest distance. I'm trying to think of two stops that are further apart on the Yonge Street side. I know on the University side, there's definitely a few stops that are further apart. But I think that might be it for this side. I'm pretty sure York Mills is closer to Lawrence than Shepherd Yonge is to York Mills. And that's Wilson Avenue on the right. You could take that over to the Little Manila area. Why are you headed north again? I am walking south. Oh, my chat didn't scroll for a bit. Gas is 128.9. Is that good? I don't know. Oh, they've got a full serve section. That person's an asshole. They're literally just cutting in front of other cars. How about you wait your ass until it's clear to turn? Gave a little wave at that driver for backing up a step there. So that's an entrance to York Mills Station. Well, there's a little bit of daylight. This is a tributary of the Don River. Squeaking in a little bit of nature on this one. Phil says it's rare to see full serve at gas stations. Well, you pay more and then you got a tip. And then they'll often smear dirty cleaning fluid all over your windshield and do a bad job with the squeegee getting it off. So it's understandable why full serve gas stations are kind of going the way of the dodo. There's another look down at the river. People tip at full serve stations in Toronto. That's not a common practice at all. I used to work at a full serve station when I was in high school, and people would tip all the time. And the few times I used one, I would tip a few bucks. I thought that's just what you did. There's a nice big park here on the left with the river running through it. And beyond that is Hogs Hollow, one of the wealthiest residential neighborhoods in the city. And this part of Yonge Street is often referred to as being Hogs Hill. And in the early days of this YouTube channel, I took the single speed bike out and I recorded myself barely getting up it. Lisa's on the way to the Art Gallery of Ontario. You should do what Tom Green did and sneak some of your own art up. You know, I said I'm heading south, but it looks north. How the hell is this north? I mean, it's not true south, it's Toronto south. When I'm heading towards the lake. I think there's a viewer who said their son is a chef at the Miller Tavern here. One of the oldest pubs in the city. I think it's more of a full-on restaurant. Tennis courts. All right, one last stretch of nothingness. Once I'm up this hill, we'll be in the Yonge-Lawrence village. Good and wings. Did you dump maple syrup into wing sauce? What kind of unholiness of unhealthy is that? It's probably damn good though. It looks freaking delicious. All right, now we begin our uphill power walk. Lisa says the streetcar is so empty, it's just a delight. Speaking of delights, not needing gloves to live stream. A. All right, we're getting our cardio in now. About halfway up the hill. I'm regretting my choice to wear long johns tonight. Evening, Sandy. So there's going to be a Loblaws coming up at the top of this hill. Then we'll be in the Yonge-Lawrence village. Yeah, Ashley, cameras don't really seem to show off inclines and declines all that well. They also tend not to show how fast someone is walking. At least not when you use a gimbal. Sometimes I'll upload little clips of stuff happening and some of the comments will be like, "Why are you walking so slow?" And it's like, I would bet the farm I walk faster than whoever made that comment. Just the camera being so stabilized makes it look slow. That street will lead you into Hogs Hollow. I wonder how many people actually drive 30 in there. Hey, Alex from Phuket Walks here. Greetings, Alex. It's going to be completely dark when I get to Yonge and Eglinton, probably. Not supporting Tesla. You hope Carney allows BYD EVs into Canada, better quality and cheaper too. That deal should include them being built here using Canadian parts and the Canadian supply chain. I'd be all for that. We're just importing them. Well, that's not such a great thing. There is Loblaws. I don't know if this person's jogging or not. They were just running. Whew. All right, Lisa, enjoy the art gallery. And okay, I did it. I walked the most boring stretch of Yonge Street in Toronto. There's a Wingstop straight ahead. Didn't that used to be a Popeyes? From one chain to another? And that used to be a Mastermind Toys. Right now it's Hairy Tarantula. It's an odd name. Well, my calves are feeling the burn after that. Hey Jess, a little far from the nest today. Not that far. This is one of my less adventurous streams. I just went up a few stops north on the subway to Shepherd Yonge. Welcome to the stream, Matt Attack. And welcome to the Yonge-Lawrence Village. Thank you to all 540 or so of you who have tuned in. Friendly reminder, like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I go live next. Usually that's about 3-4 times a week. Oh, we got the signal to cross. And I'm seeing some light snow flurries. We're supposed to have snow flurries for the next few hours. And possibly some much heavier snow in the middle of the night. There's the gluten-free Asian kitchen. I haven't thought of red green in a while. Duct tape and plaid are pretty much all that comes to mind when I think of him. Downhill now, yeah. Once I get to Lawrence, it'll be uphill for a little bit. Japanese Asian fusion grand opening. Nice Italian restaurant, nobody in there. Miami fades? What if I don't want a fade? What if I just want a regular haircut? This is Teddington Park. There's a lot of big expensive homes on that street in that direction. Yeah, it's probably a bit early for dinner time. You're right on that. Where are you seeing a bus on Yonge Street? The 97 bus supplements line 1. Some of the spaces are a bit far apart. It also accommodates those with mobility issues who need to get on and off closer to their stop. I've opted to take the 97 on a few occasions. Hey, Rudy is here. Rudy is excellent. What the hell? Men adhere. Starting price is $60. 30 minutes for $80. Massage. Nail repair. Are all their customers men? Is that why it's called men adhere? Who the hell goes and gets their nails done? Well, I was wrong about the mastermind. The mastermind is there. Yeah, Ashley, we're quite spoiled in the food department. There's an old school pub, Abbott Pub and Fair. Paola D. A lot of these stores tend to close around 5 or 6. The Paper Moon. Babette and Belle. That looks like a cafe. Cupcakes, fresh macaroons. Cute looking cafe. Snowden Avenue. Hey, how about stopping? How about stopping? Jesus Christ. Pardon my French. Took that lady forever to make eye contact and actually see me. David Ace, $13.99. Hi, Johnny. Here's a little something for making it up the hill. David Ace. What would I get if I went back and did it again? But thank you, David, for the super chat. Much appreciated. It was a little bit harder than it should have been. I mentioned nearly at the start of my stream, today is leg day for me. And I absolutely murdered my legs. Oh, new Thai eatery. That looks good. Right next to Lamai Thai massage. Billy T says she was elderly. Yeah, but that's not an excuse for driving like an asshat. You don't get a free pass. Look at this person. They were not going to stop at that stop sign. They would have rolled right into the crossing if I wasn't there. I had to pause and make sure they saw me. That Dollarama used to be PJ's Pets. Buzz a Beat, music and joy for the little ones. There's a lot of bespoke kind of businesses like that in this area. There's a place called Fuzzy Lab, Gifts and Workshop across the street. No worries. Faith over fear. There's the friendly butcher. You can get good chocolate bars cheap at Dollarama. I mean, there's a recession-proof stock to buy. Massage Addict. There's a lot of massage places in this area. Prosecco Resto Bar. Not yet open. Yeah, we're getting a very light snowfall at the moment. There's a guy up the road who owes you 150 bucks. Well, I'm not going to go collect for you, but maybe we'll walk past him on the stream. And I think the old saying goes, never loan money to someone, you merely give it to people and not expect it back. I've been burned a few times. Really close friend, relative, family member, loved one, sure, no questions asked. What do you need? If it gets you out of the jam and I have it. But everyone else, yeah, don't know about that. There's an excellent shawarma place, Shawarma Royale. I go to one of them quite often. That dude had battery-powered gloves on. Gus Tacos, these have been popping up everywhere. If this were the end of my stream, I'd be happy to go in there and try it. I've yet to try it. Wow, they've got a big store too. A lot of seating in there. There's the Metro. There's also a Loblaws affiliated supermarket just a block south of there. There's the Brewing Brothers, or Brewing Brokers real estate. That's a neat cafe. It's like a real estate agent, but it's also a cafe. I went there during a snowstorm once. I recorded a video up to that place, and then I edited that video from inside there. I had my crap book in my backpack. Should Johnny go for a taco? Where's the pull? I'm gonna go somewhere around Yonge and Eglinton. Good job, asshole. Just block the crossing for a right-hand turn. Oh, there's another Dollarama. Nobody knows what the stop line is. Like, it's one thing if you can't see and you have to creep out safely, but when you have a perfectly clear visual and you need to turn in traffic, you need to keep your entire vehicle behind that damn line and make your turn when it's clear. But so many people just roar right over it and stop in the middle of the crossing. This is the southern entrance to Lawrence Station, which has recently reopened. They were installing elevators. And it's the George H. Locke Library. Whoa, that car is flying up Yonge Street. The George H. Locke Library branch. It's been completely remodeled recently. Elevators will not be operational until sometime later this year. That sucks, but on the plus side, they went through with it and they're in. was the time frame from Eglinton, the Eglinton line going to open? I'm going to say April. They're trying to aim for March. I think Doug Ford said that, but I don't think it's going to be March or going to be February. March 1st would be a good day. Nice, easy number to announce and make it seem like a bigger deal. And the snow flurries have definitely started. Look how this stop sign is handled. Just completely ran the stop sign. Next stop, Yonge and Eglinton. Gertej went to see Avatar 3 in 3D. RMD VTO is here. How many steps has my lazy ass taken today? That's it. The bulk of those have been on this stream. Greetings, Mojo. If it's snowing in the morning, I might be tempted to pop out and do a stream or video. And I'll just push back the planned video till Friday. The only thing you hate is runtime. Yeah, I'm not a fan of movies that go well over 2 hours. What's for dinner? I'm gonna go down to Yonge and Eglinton and figure it out. I had Chipotle last night. Jamie, welcome to Silver Tier. Thank you so much for joining the ranks of channel membership. Jamie, cheers to you. If you want to support the channel that way, you can do it via YouTube channel membership, which will give you a nifty little badge beside your name in the chat, or you can do it through Patreon. You won't have that badge, but you will gain the ability to DM me directly. I'd rather not steer people to one or the other, or any at all. Just whatever you do is a-okay with me, but thank you for joining the ranks of Silver Tier. Nadine's making beef stir fry with egg. I might have like a beef bulgogi poke bowl. Kind of feel like something on the healthier side. Greetings, Harjot. All right, this is the end of the last little uphill I'm gonna have to walk. It was 1967 when the Leafs last won. Yeah, and what, a 16 league? Should that even count? I think Toronto sports fans are waiting on news of where Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette land. Mojo says, yes, it counts. But it has nowhere near the weight or gravity of a modern Stanley Cup. Like, yay, we won a tournament of 6. Come on, Johnny, that's all we got. This is an area I would identify as the north end of Midtown. I don't know if there's even an official line in the sand. Someone's got a nice plant. I was about to say a very ergonomic chair, but it's actually a plant. Greetings, Grace. We'll have to see if the forecasts are true and if we're getting dumped on later tonight. But so far, the snow is light. Experts in heating and cooling older Toronto homes. All right. A lot of views for that plant. Maybe that's the most attention it's ever got. Hey, we crossed over 600 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. I was going to go live this afternoon, but ended up pushing that till later. Normally when I don't post a video in the morning, I go live in the late morning or afternoon. Anytime Fitness. Thank you, Marge. What if most of the people clicked dislike? That's all good. There's a play cafe. That's gotta cost an arm and a leg. And there is my trusty local Domino's. Sometimes I'll order from there and it'll be 15 minutes until it arrives. Good evening, Donkey. Stay warm. Snowstorm coming. It's actually not that cold right now. It's like 2 or 3 degrees. I got no gloves on. But the forecast says a mix of snow flurries, then light snow, then heavy snow. Well, into the early hours of the morning, and it might be snowing all morning. So I think what I'll do is I'll set my alarm for 8 a.m. or so, and I'll peek outside. And if we've been absolutely dumped on and it's still snowing, I'll grab my gear and run out and maybe do a stream or video. Andy's over there. That used to be a Roots. Schneider's kimchi fried rice, spicy, savory, and now bacony. Love me some kimchi bokkeumbap. You're coming on the 26th, as long as it's not snowing like that till then. There's a new Momo restaurant way up there. City Kebab. You're welcome, Gertej. Yeah, it's been an odd winter. Funny how when it's cold and snowy, people stop talking about global warming. A&W serving up all-day breakfast. Remember during the pandemic when they were offering free coffees? I was streaming in the other direction and I popped in there to get my free coffee, which was a mistake. It took them forever to make it. Then I had to go to the washroom for the second half of the stream. Super vape. So I'm going to set my target destination at Yonge and Eglinton. I should have enough battery to get there. I didn't bring my battery backup. That used to be a Gap Kids, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and the old Sport Check store that was vacant for like 5 or 6 years finally had a lease sign in it. Maybe we'll see what's moving in there. And if you grew up when I did in the 80s, this was a dominant convenience store chain, Becker's. I love that they just brought back the old school sign and font exactly as it was. There was the Becker's around the corner from one of the homes I grew up at in Mississauga. And there's the Becker's on Wellesley in Cabbagetown. Impact Kitchen. What's their deal tonight? I'd always go there when they had their lasagna. Pesto linguine pasta dine-in special, $7.95. Tomato bocconcini sandwich, $6.95. Buy pizza slice, get salad or soup. $3 extra. That place always has a good deal on, and it is excellent. Bilbo's has transformed into Millenni, modern Greek. I thought it was odd that such a popular restaurant closed down. This one must be related to it. And there's where Sport Check used to be. Still a big vacant storefront. I thought I saw lease signs in the window not too long ago. Not snowing downtown either yet. Well, this barely counts as snowing. This is just some very light flurries. The forecast I checked said they would start around 6. That place I think is debit only. Frostbite is no joke. I probably could have guessed that. I've gotten my hair cut there a few times. Goa. We've made it to Erskine. I think this place too is debit only. Look at the lineup in there. It's people supporting a local produce stand. I'll get my bananas from there every once in a while. Twilight Cafe, Sushi Rock. That Sushi Rock's been there for a long time. Well, it used to be located just south of here. Hey, a super chat, Silver CS. Silver CS, thank you so much for the super sticker. Cheers to you. Thank you very much. My doctor is in there. I've been there twice. The first time I went there, I was looking for a walk-in clinic, but it was a walk-in clinic for their patients only. Google Maps didn't tell me about that part. Then I was like, oh. Then they asked me if I had a family doctor, and I was like, no, mine just left the city. And then she said, just a second, and asked for my health card. And then came back and said, well, we have a spot, even though they had a sign up saying we are not accepting new patients. And I have a friend who's a doctor, and apparently what they did was they'll say they're not accepting new patients, but if they think you're going to be the type of person that never goes, they'll take you on their roster. So they're being very selective. And I only ever went there once in like the last 5 years since. I'm pretty sure I'm still on the roster. I get emails from them whenever the guy's going out of town. Grazie, excellent Italian. And there's stock. What's the travel plans? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Ooh, Bonnie Boys, I could go there. It's no secret that I'm a creature of habit, though. Ashley says the family doctor situation is a nightmare. You deal with it frequently in the pharmacy. Well, when you have a premier that thinks that investing in healthcare and paying doctors and nurses what they're actually worth is a bad idea, you end up with a situation like this. It's very sad what's happening. But doctors can often make more money not doing family medicine. You end up with a shortage of family doctors. And of course they say the system's not working, we need to privatize it. Well, it's not working because you intentionally broke it. They're doing the same thing to healthcare that they are to education. Feeding it table scraps, saying, look at this, it doesn't work. And private healthcare always has worse outcomes than public healthcare, so it's not like we're going to get a good deal or anything. We're just going to get a shittier system with money being funneled to the private sector. Hey, we're almost at Yonge and Eglinton. Thank you, Silver CS. Carl loves the retail stores along here.
Well, apparently not.
All right, we have made it to Yonge and Eglinton. It's coming down a little bit more, but I need to get myself some dinner. So I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I know we got a ton of viewers. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Maybe if it really starts snowing, I'll run out and do another live stream later tonight. Who knows? But I am going to get some food. I got to pick up a few groceries as well. I want to thank our mods for their great work. Channel members, Patreon supporters, welcome to our new channel member as well. Thank you, Sarah, Ashley, Trojan, Wilford, and everyone else. Alicia Lewis. Do hit that like and subscribe button and the bell if you want to be notified when I go live next. There's links down below if you want to support the channel. But again, thank you so much. I gotta get some food in my tummy. So I hope you guys all have an awesome, awesome night. I might be streaming again later tonight if we get hit with the deep snow, or possibly in the morning. But I'll probably be out making some snow-filled content either way. All right, thanks again, mods and viewers. Yoink.